My name's Josh, and this is Brave Bear Farm. Welcome back to the farm. Today we're talking about how YouTube failed me. What? Yes, YouTube failed me. All right, so we're looking to do a lot of incubation this year. So we have a buyer lined up that's going to buy a good bit of chicks from us this year, but we needed to be able to incubate more eggs at a time. We currently couldn't really fulfill how many he wanted with our small little Hoverbaiter incubator, which has done well for us. One problem is we have a hard time keeping that temperature up in that one, especially when we're doing incubation down in Brave Bear Studios, down in the basement down there. It gets a little chillier down there. So once again, Craig came through for us, and Craig sent us in a new incubator. The incubator is from coopsnmore. It is the ProMaster Series 120, which means it incubates 120 eggs. So that's super exciting. That like triples the amount from our other incubator. So now we can incubate like, I don't know, 160 eggs, something like that, in a single 21-day period when we're using both incubators. So the problem was this incubator came in this week. I was super excited about it, but major letdown was the instructions. These instructions are horrible, okay? So I went to YouTube to find out how to put this thing together, how to get it set up, how to do everything, and guess what? Nothing, nada. Nobody says anything about the ProMaster Series incubator on YouTube. So this is more of an instructional video for this particular incubator. What I did was I stopped, I took some time, I called coopsnmore directly, asked them some questions, kind of got pretty familiar with this thing, and now I can show you what you need to mess with and maybe what you don't need to touch. And it's really easy to kind of set up. So I'm going to walk you through how to get this thing set up and ready to go, and then how to get the programming set. All right, so this is the bottom part of the incubator. Now, really, this is the incubator itself. This is honestly the part of the packaging that it comes in. However, I like this. This incubator is made out of just the plastic like you would make out of just a storage bin you put your Christmas ornaments in or whatever. So I feel like this packaging, the styrofoam thing that goes around it, actually is going to help maintain that heat inside that incubator better. So I kept it just for that. It's actually, this styrofoam is definitely made specifically for it because it's cut out where the turners are, all that sort of stuff. So this is the bottom. I'll show you what the actual top of the incubator looks like. This is the top of the incubator. It is the ProMaster Series. This is the 120, which means it hatches 120 eggs. It's made by Wright Farm Products, which is sold by coopsnmore. coopsnmore is a group that we were turned on to by Josh from Stony Ridge Farm. He does a lot of his chicken processing videos, and he buys a lot of his stuff from coopsnmore. So last year when we did our first processing of our chickens, we relied heavily on Josh from Stony Ridge, his videos, to kind of help us to get us trained and get us what we needed to do to actually process our first batch of chickens. So in the process, in some of his videos, he leaves a link to all of the supplies that he uses, and a lot of that stuff was from Stony Ridge. So far, I've been pretty satisfied with what we've gotten from coopsnmore. We've gotten of course, our killing cones. We've gotten our scalder. We've gotten our, what else was it? Oh, it was our plucker. We got our plucker from Coops and More as well. I'll say that we had some issues last year when that stuff came in, but I called Coops and More and they just sent me the stuff right back out. Sent me completely new stuff. They didn't make me send back the old stuff that wasn't right. One of my scalders, I think the pot had gotten bent up and beat up in transport, and they just sent me another one. They didn't even ask me questions, they just sent me another one. And then my burner on my scalder it's one of those click propane knobs where you click it and it ignites, there's a word for you. It ignites the burner for you as it turns it on, and it just wouldn't turn. I called up Coops and More, they sent me another one. So far I've been very pleased with their level of customer service, and even I called yesterday and talked to a gentleman just about how this thing worked. He agreed with me that these instructions are not the best. There's some things in there that actually has nothing to do with this incubator really at all. But the first thing to do is to put this thing together. It's actually really simple. So the turning system in this incubator is called the mother hen roller egg. And basically what it does, I got my assistant Huddy here with me today. So he's going to be grabbing me some things. Hudson, will you grab me an egg? We got some eggs just sitting here on our counter. So this is an egg. You just lay the eggs in there just like this. And these rollers roll like what is that thing called? I've lost the word. A roller belt, whatever. I don't know. One of those. But they just roll, and it rolls the egg. So it's pretty cool. They claim it's the closest thing to what the actual mother hen does as she rolls the eggs up underneath. So pretty cool there. I want to put that back for me. It's really simple to put together. So it's just these tubes, which are all plastic, pretty easy to clean, but they've got a hole in the end, and on the other end it's got just a little, I guess, nipple that sticks out. And that, you just take that, there's a certain way that it fits. So it slides on there, and then on this side, see if I can show you. On this side, it just snaps into all these little ridges down through here. There's little spots for each one of these rollers to snap in. So it's actually pretty simple to put them in and be ready to go. All right, so underneath all these rollers is kind of the little platform. This just sits on there. Underneath that is where you can put water into the trough and all that sort of stuff. But this just kind of fits down underneath. So once you hit day 18 and it's time for lockdown, you just pull all of these rollers right out and lay the eggs directly on this black crate here. I'll show you that a little more in depth on the second tier. Because the cool thing about this, again, this is 120 eggs. I know you're looking at this thinking there's no way 120 eggs are going to fit there. You're right. This is only 60, so there's actually 2 layers of this incubator. So the second layer is here, okay, just like this, and it just pops down on the other one. Now you've got a wire for the roller down here. I just sent this right up to the side. There's actually these bigger holes right here within this grate. Maybe that was for that, but it's kind of far away. I come up this side right here just as easy. And I felt like if I come up through here, then the cords were going to be kind of tangled up between the eggs. So I just came up right here from the side. And there's the first one, the bottom one, clicks to this one right there, just like that. Well, say that. Okay, just like that. And then this one will go up to the top of the incubator where all your programs and all that sort of stuff is. But just real quick, I want to focus on this section real quick. So these come out. I'm going to take all these out this time just to show you this real quick. Here, my lovely assistant. Hold that. So, this again, actually I need to slide that in, but this piece just comes out. So then the incubator is completely bottomless, but this just allows the airflow down to the bottom and helps get the heat up. Now this is a circulated fan system. This is not a still air system, so it helps to get better temperature, better humidity. Again, we're doing a dry egg incubation at the moment, but so this just slides that in there. I'm trying to get it a little further this time. It wasn't select up under there, but it just sits down there just like that. And again, once the 18 days are up and you're ready to go into lockdown, you pull those things out just as easy as you just saw me, and you lay your eggs right here on top of it, and you're good to go. So, show you just how simple and easy it is to put them right back in. All right, again, just hooks in there and hooks in this little trough down here. Ooh. My assistant's having a little trouble here, juggling all the rollers. This will be the first time I've used an incubator with this type of turning system, so I'm excited about this turning system. It actually turns them every 2 hours, and we'll talk about that a little more in the program in just a second. So there's that. Basically, this is set up for the bottom. Now we're going to put the top on, and when we put our top on, thank you there. Again, there's the clip. What's in you mind? Help me grab that in. Plug that in for me. And you just plug it in. See? Easy enough an 11-year-old can do it. Alright, and so then you just put your top on. And the power cord does come separately. Comes just like this. It plugs in right here on the side. Just a 3-prong plug in, just plugs right in. And now give this some heat. Alright, so we're going to plug this in, and then we're going to show you a little bit about the programming. Alright, so now we're going to look at the programming side of the incubator. It's really complex with all sorts of things to do, but you really only have to focus on 2 things. One is the temperature, the other is the humidity. You really don't have to do anything else. So take a look here with me at the... So you got your temperature right now. It's already up to 93 degrees. We really just plugged it in. It gets up really quick. It's 8% humidity, but I've got no water added into the humidifier. So basically, to set the temperature and the time, you're going to hit set 1 time. It pops up there. It's at 100 degrees, which is right where we want to set it. It actually, I set it at 100 degrees because it will fluctuate from 100 to 99 back and forth when it's set at that 100 degrees. So I found that that's a good temperature to have this thing set at. All right, so if I hit this, I get the temperature. Once I get the temperature, I can go up and down to meet the temperature that I want. Then I hit the set button. Again, it goes to the humidity side. And right now I've got it set at 0. It really doesn't matter. I'm not trying to do any kind of incubation with this right now. So once I'm there, boom. All right. All right, so you got these indicator lights up here. This one tells you, again, like I said, it tells you that the heating element's running. This one lights up when the rollers are rolling. I'll show you how that's programmed in a second. This one lights up when something is not what you set it at. So if we set this at 100, it's not at 100 right now, so it's telling us, hey, it's not at 100. And this is this also isn't at, I don't know what I have set that at. It's at 8, so it's not at 8. So it's telling us there. Now this one is cool because down here, this button right here is a light. So that didn't come on. There we go. So this is a built-in candler for your egg. So if, come on down here close. I don't know. It's not dark enough in here. Let me see if I can turn some lights off. It actually works pretty well. I've done it a couple times on the eggs that I've got incubating right now. You can see right there, this egg is just a regular egg that's been sitting on my counter, so obviously there's nothing in there right now. So, but that's pretty neat aspect right there for a candler built in to the incubator. So that's cool. But that light there, that indicator light is for that. So also for your humidity to add water, the incubator comes with this little guy. All right. And Hudson, if you'll look right down here for me. So down here, these two holes right here are where you can insert water in without having to even open up the incubator at all. You can just squirt your water in right there or right here. All right, to help get your humidity up if you want to do wet incubation. So a single press of the set button operates these indicators right here. You don't have to look at this. And then if you push the set button and hold it, now this comes up with the F1. F1, this is the only thing that the instructions were good for. F1 will tell you that this is the egg. That's the egg turning. All right, that's the how many minutes you want before the eggs turn again. So 120 minutes, that's 2 hours. So this turns the eggs every 2 hours, which is really, really good. The more often you turn them, the better. And so that's really, really cool. F2 is how many seconds that it actually turns. So how many seconds the turner is actually working. F3 is a temperature calibration that you can, if your temperature is off, you can adjust it to what your actual temperature is saying and then set it. This is the humidity calibration. This is just so you can calibrate your humidity. So you just read what it actually is and you can put it in here. F5 is one that he says has really nothing to do with what's going on in this incubator, so you really don't have to worry about it. But that's all of the functions in the F series. Now there's one other way you really don't need to mess with any of those functions. They're perfect as they are. They're good to go. You're fine. And these other ones you don't have to mess with either. So if you push set and plus at the same time, that puts you into this section, which is P1. This is temperature for your alarm. So if it gets 105, it's going to alarm. That's if it's over. Oops. All right. P2 is the fan. What temperature the fan comes on. P3 is stopping the main heater. So there's just a lot of things in here that you really don't need to mess with. These are all dealing with humidity. You don't have to worry about any of these. You just kind of leave those alone. So when I looked at these instructions, I was really confused, thinking I needed to worry about all this stuff. But really, the only thing you need to do is hit that set button one time, set what your temperature is, and then hit it again to set your humidity, and you're good to go. And that's pretty much the ProMaster Series 120, the Wright Farms products from. It's an incubator and hatcher all in one. So that's pretty much it. We're actually going to do a video when we actually incubate eggs in this thing and see how that works and see how good it does for us. But for now, that's it for this video. So please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. We'd love to have you as part of the Brave Bear family. So please join us again on the farm. Thanks for coming.